Next up, we have free movement of people, perhaps the most controversial of the four freedoms, and probably what has caused a lot of turmoil, a lot of problems for the European Union in recent years, especially with Brexit, as we will look at in the next lecture. But essentially, with the free movement of people, it allows Union citizens, so EU citizens, to work, study, and travel in other EU countries without a visa. And visas can be very, very complicated and very costly as well. So by eliminating some of these barriers, the idea is that people come in and out and they're able to contribute to the whole state economy, right? Because when citizens are going over to work, they're also paying taxes, and so the whole state benefits. And the idea is that there's like this supply and demand of skills shortages. So if the UK needs a lot of plumbers, then plumbers from Romania are able to go over to the UK to fill that gap. And the idea is that the opposite would be the case. If Romania needs, I don't know, British chefs, chefs from the UK would go over to Romania. In reality, that's not always the case, right? There's two problems with the free movement of people that's been highly controversial in recent years. The first one is there's this idea that it can create competition with locals, having lots of foreigners coming in to a country, that it can create competition with locals for resources such as educational facilities, healthcare, and housing. Now, I don't particularly know how much evidence is behind that. There's lots and lots of other reasons why there are long wait times in hospitals and there's not enough houses, namely to do with financing and governments cutting spending on these areas. But I think you can understand from a normal person's point of view, a normal local's point of view, why this could be such a problem, and especially if that's what they've been told in the media and by other people. I can totally empathize with why they feel like that. Whether it's based in any fact is irrelevant at this point. And the other problem is richer countries normally, with the free movement of people, have benefited more from the poorer countries, right? So I had the example of the UK and Romania exchanging people for skill shortages. Now, yeah, it might be the case that plumbers from Romania go over to the UK, but the opposite isn't really the case. Very few people from the UK travel to Eastern Europe. And actually, what you'll find with Europe in general is that Western Europe and Eastern Europe have a massive economic divide, right? There's huge inequalities there. Western Europe is far richer, far more developed than Eastern Europe. And so what you'll have is actually Eastern Europeans, educated people, people with skills, going over to Western Europe because they're able to get higher pays, more wages, progress much better in their career, get far more opportunities. But the opposite, of course, isn't the case. And so that has caused a lot of resentment, especially in Eastern Europe.